Alright, y'all. So this is gonna be my trade breakdown for my NQ trade today on July 6th, and I'm gonna show how I use SMT to get into these trades also, and how you can use ES as an indicator or NQ as an indicator, whichever however you want to play it. So during Asian session, I caught these shorts. I caught this short going down, and then New York session, I went long, taking out these Asian session highs. And I'm gonna explain how I did it, and I'm gonna show I have the drawings covered, but you see this is how it looks with no drawings. And let's just go to the higher time frame. So we kind of consolidating, slight consolidation in this area right here, but I didn't want to overcommit to one side or the other, and I'm gonna explain why. And I felt like ES was predisposed to go higher, so I wasn't really leaning too much on the shorts, even though on Friday we had a short day on Friday. Let's show ES. So this is ES. So I was anticipating for these relative equal highs to get hit and look more clearly on the 4 hours. So see these relative equal highs and these relative equal highs here. As you can see, that was hit today. And based off that premise, I wanted to see, higher prices, especially if these bullish PD arrays were holding up, like for this 4 hour fair value gap was holding. You see, we didn't trade below it, getting the rejection during Asian session, but that was kind of like my mental framework going in. So I told myself, okay, if we were to go higher, we would support these levels. And you can see on NQ, this 4 hour gap is way larger than it was on ES. So let me do a side by side view. So you see ES going higher, and NQ slightly went higher, but it didn't take out, the previous day's highs like how ES did. So now during Asian session, we opened, and what I saw here during Asian session, we took out Friday's high already on Asian session. So I'm gonna add the drawing later. So we took out Friday's high. Once I seen that, one thing you'll notice, for example, let's say NQ took out a high, it will probably um reverse. And you see NQ took out his previous day high also. So both of them took out their previous day high. So but a lot of times one pair might do something, and then the other pair will follow suit even though it doesn't take out that previous day high. So that's the S&T divergence, of course. So I seen that here, and I seen like this stop run on ES. And once I seen that, I'm like, okay, now I believe NQ is predisposed to go lower. And I targeted the new week opening gap midpoint. So I'm gonna add all of that soon, and I'll show the execution soon. So from there, after that, I really just wanted to see if that midpoint will hold. Anything below that new week opening gap, I would look for the previous day's lows to be targeted, but as you can see, we didn't get that. And same thing for NQ. I actually did a breakdown in the morning about ES. Well, I mean, same thing for ES. I did a breakdown about ES and NQ in the morning, and I said I wanted to see if these highs would be taken, and they surely were. So we'll see where we go from there. But yeah, after Asian session, I closed this trade. I did get stopped out on one of my trades on 5 minute this 5 minute candle right here. Wicks always do the damage, but this 5 minute gap closed above, and I entered here, and you see we had this long wick, but we didn't even close below 930's low. So you see the bodies even respected it, but the wicks, colored outside the lines. And then of course we stayed higher, and then we targeted Asian session highs, these relative equal highs during Asian session. So those are some pretty clean setups for the day. Wasn't really too complicated, but I try to use these pairs in tandem and sort of like an indicator, let me know like the direction that the market is heading. So I'm gonna show the drawings and then my execution also, and how everything looks just, you know, it makes more sense, and to me honestly. So it might look choppy, but I'm using these levels like in today. Like this first setup I had during Asian, well, pre-market, I end up getting stopped out right here on this run lower, and then you see we swept Asia's, no, London's low, and then we immediately reversed right after sweeping that. And then we also had this right here, this highlighted, this blue box is a 1 hour level. This 1 hour down close candle. And you see we're trading above. So I was using these higher time frame levels, and the gray is my new week opening gap. So all of these levels are holding up. Purple will be my 1 hour. Anything purple will be my 1 hour. This pink will be my 5 minute. But as you can see, we're holding up on these levels, and then you could just take longs to target these Asian session highs. That's all I was really targeting, especially on a Monday. I didn't want to reach for too much, but ES actually ended up hitting this target, so that's a good thing. End up hitting this target. So from there, it was a pretty clean setup today. Let me show my executions. With price to so I went long here. I went long on this counter right here. So I have my limit order right here. Went long, and then let me show, these two down close candles. So at the time this was a setup, I ended up going long, almost hit my stop. My stop would have been below this swing low. We trade higher, took out this intermediate high, and then we displaced lower to take out London's low for the day. But you can see we ended up coming back and still using this level. So you could have dragged it over and still use this level before we hit Asian sessions high. But as you can see, my executions, clean setup. This was the L I took. Try down to 1 minute. Yeah, so you see I went long here, stopped out next candle, and then I seen we came right back up and we're respecting the level. We're respecting our levels, and I just held until my target, and pretty smooth day, honestly. You know, I'm not going to worry about that one loss, little petty loss, but all in all, good day in the market. So until next time.